We're rolling into week 18, the final championship week, and today we're going to go game by game, matchup by matchup, and see how fantasy points can be scored in those games to help you set your lineups. But before we begin, you need to drop your start-sit questions in the comment section below. I'll answer them like I do every Saturday night and go one by one answering all your questions. On top of that, you need to click that subscribe button right now. This is one of the few sites and YouTube channels still going after it for you guys for week 18. One of the guys helping you set your lineups. I'm not cashing out because week 17 happened. I know some of you guys need service. Some of you guys need some help. I'm here for you guys, and I'll be here for you next year as well. Click that button. Stop missing out. But the first thing we're going to start off looking at are the teams that need to win going into week 18. I got them listed here. So you got like Dolphins, Vikings, Bucks, Ravens, Falcons, Bengals there listed. And going over here below me, you're looking at teams that are resting their starters. There's going to be more teams than that as well. The Chiefs, Bills, Eagles for sure. Rams are resting a lot of players going into week 18. That being said, be on the lookout for that. Think logically when you're looking at some of these matchups. We're going to try and do that for you with some of these today, but we might catch some more news going forward. Looking at our first matchup here, we got the Bears and the Packers, 41.5 over under, and we're looking at this matchup here as a game where they might get creative with Caleb Williams. They might try to push it downfield a little bit more. They might see what they have in them. In the season finale, they're not going to the playoffs, so it's not like you're going to get any more games after week 18 and to see what you can do with Caleb Williams. DeAndre Swift should be getting some opportunity. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rhamondre. They got kind of a carousel effect right there. And when it comes to fantasy production, it's been up and down. When you're looking at the Packers, we got a spread of 10 here. So if they get up early in this game, they might start pulling some dudes. They might start mixing it up in the run game. You need Josh Jacobs to get his points early. You need him to get his points early in this matchup because if they get up in this game, we got 10 over under. So that's implying that the Packers might win this by a good margin here. You need Josh Jacobs to get up early. When it comes to wide receivers, Jayden Reed, routes, targets, week to week, looking good. Sometimes he'll give you a down week. Romeo Doubs always run a lot of routes. And then you're looking at Tucker Kraft here, like any other tight end, just a roller coaster play. But you're watching this matchup. If it gets out of hand, if they're up by 15 or more points and we're in the second half, you might see Emmanuel Wilson get in, Chris Brooks, some of those other guys. You might see the wide receivers get mixed in. You might see some changes, and maybe if that lingers into the fourth quarter, you might see some more guys pulled. Looking at Saints and Bucks here, the Bucks are fighting for a playoff spot, so they're going to fight to kill the Saints, and we got a spread here of 14. This game should be nasty. You got Spencer Rattler at quarterback. You got a lot of injured players here. Alvin Kamara's probably not going to be out. Kendrick Miller's out. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be suiting up, getting some carries. Jamal Williams might be getting some looks. So you're not really trusting much here for the Saints side. But you're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bucky, Irvin, Rachaad White. You got a spread of 14. The thing is, they're going to get some work. They're going to get some volume, especially in the second half. You got Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans. Mike Evans pushing that yardage total. So you're going to see him get some volume. Jalen McMillan's been hot. That being said, we got some opportunity in this offense to get fantasy production. I would not be surprised if we get deep in the third quarter, fourth quarter, game's out of hand, we start pulling some starters. Things start slowing down. That is the risk of this matchup, and that is the risk overall. If this was middle of the season, that'd still be the same risk. Looking at how decimated the Saints are right now. Bills and Patriots, and the Bills are looking to not play some players. Amari Cooper's not traveling with the team, so be on the lookout for that. You might be starting a guy like Ray Davis if you're looking to stretch things out at running back, but we got a tight spread. We got 36.5 over under. Vegas is saying they're not expecting this to be a high scoring game. You're looking at Rhamondre Stevenson here getting some workload. Antonio Gibson's been getting some workload, but again, you're not 100% trusting it. You're not trusting the Patriots wide receivers, but there could be some volume. Demario Douglas pushes about a 10 spot every game. Kayshon Boutte is running most of the routes, getting most of the targets. If he can cash, he could hit big for you. He's only hit once this season, but he's been having a good run when it comes to volume. Drake Maye could be a good QB2. He's questionable going into this matchup. You're watching the injury reports. We're looking at the Giants and Eagles. The Eagles is resting everybody. You're not going to trust Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee, or anybody there at quarterback. Kenny Gainwell is an interesting option here at running back because the Eagles' offensive line gets a good push up front. Some of those guys are going to get rested, though, but he is very electric in space, something to pay attention to. You're not looking at Jahan Dotson. Whenever he's gotten his opportunities in this offense, it wasn't looking good, and we're looking at that with backup quarterbacks. Grant Calcaterra could sneak something in the red zone, and you're looking at Tyrone Tracy, because if the Giants get up in this matchup, could be getting some good looks, some good volume. You're looking at the wide receivers here. Drew Lock might go YOLO with you, a little bit dangerous, but still you're looking at a weird matchup here. 36.5 over under. So Vegas saying it's going to be a low scoring, slow game here, which could happen because you got backup quarterbacks here with the Eagles. You got backup wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, and you're looking at the Giants here. That's not overly explosive. This could be a nasty matchup going in. Panthers, Falcons, 48.5 over under. If you're going by what Vegas say and you're looking at all the other matchups here, you're probably going to start a lot of players from this matchup. The Falcons have to push the pace. The Carolina Panthers really have nothing to lose here. It's not like they're going to hurt a running back or anything like that. Adam Thielen, older wide receiver prospect. Xavier Legette, questionable. Jalen Coker, UDFA, no sunk cost invested, should be out there running a lot of routes. Bryce Young, proven himself. He's going to sling the rock. Michael Penix, the guy get him more experience going into 2025. They're going to have the other guys out there. So there's going to be some good opportunity in this matchup. The ball should be flying. Bijan Robinson is going up against a Panthers defense that allows a lot of fancy points to running backs. Drake London should be getting his opportunities. And then Michael Penix can push it downfield. He's a rookie. He's starting off here, so he could be a little bit up and down. Commanders and Cowboys. I look for Rico Dowdle to get volume. I look for him to be like the only trustable option in the Cowboys offense. Brandon Cooks got volume last week but didn't cash. Can Cooper Rush connect? And we're looking at the Washington Commanders here. And it looks like they're going to start off at least giving their starters a lot of work in this matchup. And we got a good spread here at 6.5. The Commanders are expected to win this one by a good margin. Sometimes the Cowboys can be a little bit pesky in these matchups, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little more closer than expected. But again, Jayden Daniels should let the ball fly. We should see these running backs do well. And then Terry McLaurin getting targets downfield. Alamai Zakas should be getting some good opportunity as well in this matchup. And we're looking at the Texans and Titans here. Tight spread, low over-under. CJ Stroud and company should get some opportunity in the first half. They should rest their starters in the back end of this game. That's what they're saying down below. They're locked into the playoffs, but they should get some work here considering they're banged up going into this as well, losing Tank Dell and company. Nico Collins, we got to hit quick and early. We got to hit quick and early. Joe Mixon, we got to hit quick and early. All these players got to hit quick and early. Tony Pollard, questionable. Tajay Spears, out. You're looking at Julius Chestnut. We're going to call him Joey Chestnut here going forward. But Joey Chestnut here might get some red zone looks, might get some opportunities, might be a sneaky option. Calvin Ridley, he's an up and down play every single week. He's either giving you a wide receiver 1 week or a wide receiver nothing week. That is something to pay attention to. I don't think you're going to trust Will Levis in your championship matchup. Jaguars, Colts, 43.5 over under. And both these teams are going to play the starters. Anthony Richardson out. Joe Flacco pushing the ball all over the place. And this is a matchup where he could connect a little bit. Jonathan Taylor against the Jaguars is a great matchup for him. Mac Jones and the crew here. I don't see them getting benched early in this matchup because Mac Jones has something to prove. You got Brian Thomas, maybe him early, but I doubt it. He's a rookie and you're just going to cash out with him. So honestly, you're looking at this matchup and this could be a game where if you're questioning things and you're looking at this matchup, you feel good that a lot of the key players are going to be out there. Chiefs, Broncos, a lot of Chiefs are not going to be out there. You got Carson Wentz, and the wide receivers are probably going to be out there for a little bit. probably to help keep Carson Wentz healthy and upright with some established wide receivers. Watch them get pulled sooner than later. That being said, you're going up against the Denver Broncos. Tough matchup here. 40.5 over-under in this matchup. And we got a spread of 10.5. The Broncos should eat in this matchup here. That's what Vegas is saying with the over-under, considering Patrick Mahomes is not going to be out there. The starting running backs are not going to be out there. Travis Kelce is not going to be out there. So there's going to be some good opportunity for them. Bo Nix should be all right. Courtland Sutton should be getting some deep targets downfield. Some guys on the defensive side should be rested. That's what they're saying with the spread of 10.5. You're looking at the running backs, same thing as every week. You're not going to trust it. The Chiefs' defense should be a lesser going into this matchup. Again, Sutton, Nix. Nix is more like a QB2 going in this week. Sutton's got some deep upside. Everybody else is kind of like similar as if it's middle of the season. Chargers, Raiders. We're looking at this matchup as an interesting one. 41.5 over under. So all right, scoring from Vegas. And the Chargers are expecting to start their starters. So they will get some opportunity in this matchup. J.K. Dobbins has a good matchup against the Raiders. Ladd McConkey out there running routes, getting opportunities. He's been hot in the back nine of the season. Quentin Johnson is a roller coaster wide receiver, and he's a roller coaster every week. He's been on the down, so maybe against the Raiders, you might catch him on the up. Raiders, you got Aiden O'Connell, you got Alexander Madison, Jacoby Myers, and Brock Bowers. Raiders are expected to play their starters. Brock Bowers should be getting you some good opportunities, should give you a good chance this week. Alexander Madison, a good touch merchant going into this matchup. Tougher matchup. Jacoby Myers should be getting some targets. If the Chargers get up in this matchup, expect the starters to be pulled. Back nine of the game. Dolphins, Jets. The Jets are interesting because they got some veterans there that really don't need to be out there. They're out of it. We also got a 38.5 over under. So this matchup is predicted to be low scoring. The Dolphins are on the bubble. They got a 22% chance of making the playoffs if they win. So odds are they're out of it. They're out of it due to that. Tua is doubtful, but still they're going to try and push the pace. Tyreek Hill's questionable. Jalen Waddle's questionable. Watch all that. Devin Achane's going to get the volume. I look at him as an explosive touch merchant like I did last week going in this matchup where he's going to get the touches, but it's not guaranteed like it usually is. Compared to like an Alexander Madison, you're hoping for touchdowns. You're hoping for him to break free, but it's not going to be consistent or stable, but he will get the workload. Jonnu Smith, targets, but not as safe. And you're looking at the Jets players here, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers. We should start out there, be on the field, getting some opportunities, and they may dial it back middle of the game. Seahawks, Rams. All the Rams are not going to be out there. So you might get Blake Corum out there doing something for you. But honestly, when you look at the rest of the players around them, you got DeMarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell and company. Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. That is not great for that. So a touch merchant with upside, if they can move the football. Seattle out here expected to play their starters if healthy. Zach Charbonnet should get you another good matchup here, getting good workload and opportunity. Geno Smith should have an okay matchup, high in QB2. DK Metcalf, JSN, Tyler Lockett. We got to hit downfield. This is a good matchup for that, considering the starters are going to be out for the Rams, and they should be getting some good opportunities. We got to have the game script pushed, and Vegas is saying that game script is probably not going to be pushed because we're at 37.5 over under. They're going to say it's a low-scoring game, but Seattle's got a good spread on them, so they're expected to pull all this one out. That being said, if everything goes the Vegas' way, low-scoring game, Seahawks scoring the points, and you could get some fantasy contributors from the Hawks. Niners, Cardinals. Purdy is out. Isaac Rondo should be getting the workload to prove himself. And on top of that, Debo's out. Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall could surprise you. The quarterback play in this matchup is going to be suspect. You're also looking at the Cardinals. We might start off first half starting the starters and dial it back. Maybe we keep them out there. Marvin Harrison Jr. Either way, up and down wide receiver throughout the year. So it's pretty much the same analysis. Same thing with Kyler Murray and Trey McBride. Maybe you can get another touchdown. Maybe we can get a touchdown here. 42.5 over under. So they're expecting the game script to push a little bit. Spread's a little bit tight. But again, another matchup here. Due to the Niners side, that might be a little bit questionable. We're looking at Michael Carter for the Cardinals, considering Trey Benson and James Conner's on IR. Another touch merchant to look at, DJ Dallas as well. Both of them will be touch merchants for fantasy football. Guys that are getting touches, but you can't rely on them for fantasy production, but you can look at them as guys in a pinch if you got to throw them in your lineup. Vikings, Lions, and we're fighting for playoff position here. 56.5 over under. Vegas is saying, hey, we expect the starters to be out there. They expect both teams to go full bore. That being said, that 56.5 over under, if you got splits or lineup decisions to worry about, this is a matchup to chase. So you may be looking at some ancillary players, maybe like a Cam Akers or a Jalen Naylor or something like that, and just hoping and praying they get the opportunity, unless there's a blowout. You're looking at Jahmyr Gibbs. Nobody's going to bench him or Amon-Ra. Jamison Williams has a lot of upside. It's going to stretch it down the field. And compared to a lot of other matchups here, you're probably just going to be forced into starting him. Maybe the same with Sam Laporta. There's going to be good volume in this offense. Same thing with TJ Hawkinson. This is a good matchup just to unload and see what happens here. 56.5 over under. A tight spread at 2.5. Vegas saying, hey, this is the game of the week, and we're going to end this season out with a bang. Those are the matchups going into Week 18. Don't forget to drop your start-sit questions in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. It's been a great season, and I'll catch you next time.